My name is Jack Simpson. I am Trade Policy Advisor at WWF UK. At WWF UK, we've been advocating for a unilateral trade proposal called Core Environmental Standards. Globally, agriculture contributes 33% greenhouse gases and drives 60% biodiversity loss. To meet the challenges of the future, the UK must reduce its footprint of its production consumption by three-quarters this decade to bring it within the environmental limits couldn't be its fair share to halving the global footprint of production and consumption. The UK has already implemented sustainable farming initiatives in the UK through something called the Environmental Land Management Scheme, ELMS. However, the UK market is still open to imports produced to lower even standards that are outlawed in the UK, lower standards at the expense of the environment. This undermines the farmers at home who are already making sustainable efforts and offshores our environmental impact overseas through things like pesticide usage, animal welfare, and deforestation. So we're proposing something called Core Environmental Standards. This would set a minimum environmental benchmark requiring imports to meet the similar environmental production standards as UK farmers. This would safeguard the sustainable transition while maintaining a level playing field for our farmers to be competitive in the market. We need to make sure that as we go forward and try and fix a broken food system, that trade is an accelerator of change and this transition, not a driver of environmental harm. We need to ensure that core environment standards is both a carrot and a stick, though, in this policy arena. While core environment standards does act as a stick by removing those waste producers from our market, and for context, we are targeting about 10% of the waste producers that contribute 50% of environmental harm globally. We need this to be a broad tent policy across government and a wider government strategy to support. We need finance, tech, and development policies that make sure that producers overseas are included in the transition and can continue to be part of the supply chains that service the UK market, but also so that these learnings from both the producer level and supplier level can be shared up and down the supply chain and sustainable agriculture and land use that applies to their environment overseas. At WWF, we are committed, of course, to a sustainable food and trade system, but also one that is just. Make sure that our food and trade system is delivering at home and abroad. So there's already a set of international laws to ensure food and health safety for human health, and this is known as Codex Alimentarius and is maintained at the WTO World Trade Organization level. The UK also has its own rules on food safety and human health, which is why things like chlorinated chicken are not permitted for sale here in the UK, but it is in the USA. We believe that, like we have standards for human health, there should be standards for planetary health as well. And we're not the first to be moving in this kind of space. Examples already exist where standards on environmental production being passed at the WTO level. The USA on dolphin bycatch and the EU on protection of seal welfare removed the connection between their market and those cruel practices and were upheld by the WTO. Our research has developed a legal framework on how these processes and these policies manage to progress through the WTO and be upheld. And that's the framework that we have developed in our report to ensure the legal compatibility and the effectiveness when we're trying to address environmental measures in our trade system. The world trade system is run by international consensus. This means that every member state of that organization must agree before certain actions can be taken. So achieving global agreement and action on environmental standards simply won't happen in the time that we need it. However, we do believe that the UK can be a unilateral domino in this field. By developing and implementing core standards alongside international dialogues with key nations across the world, we believe that slowly but surely, we can begin to coalesce and bring states together who want to take action in their environmental supply chains and their environmental footprint and begin a domino effect where we actually start bringing more and more states together which leads to wider cooperative international action. We also see core standards as a way of reducing or eradicating the use of methods harmful to human and community health overseas, such as toxic pesticides, and delivering more nutritious and more reliable access to food than our food system currently provides, where we're already seeing climate shocks, droughts, famines, floods impacting food supply in some of the most at-risk communities. So we see core environmental standards as ways progressing the trade system and the food system to a more resilient and secure one.